Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check. It is Tuesday, February 13th. Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody had a great start to their week yesterday. This show is brought to you, of course, by Because Bitcoin. A reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. And we got a lot to talk about, guys. I felt like we talked about a lot yesterday, but it really doesn't even do it justice. Not just the high time frame outlook of kind of what we're viewing, but also some of this lower time frame volatility that we're observing this morning as well. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But for now, you guys know me as Tommy, also as Snorlax. I'm joined by Tucker, Max, and Dr. Will's Outlook. Jackus hopefully will be back later this week. So we're going to be bringing you guys all of the alpha in the meantime. But real quickly, before we get cooking and before we start sharing that big, juicy alpha, we always appreciate when you guys smash that like button before we get started. It's a Tuesday, so questionable energy type of day, but would mean a lot to us if you guys could just slide your hand over that mouse, click the like button, and then we can get started. But let's talk about the markets, guys. I guess we had some sort of, I wouldn't say a hot CPI print, but an unexpected CPI print that is causing a little bit of a problem in the market so far today, right? I mean, Bitcoin trading probably about 2K per Bitcoin off its highs. Altcoins, some of them showing strength, some of them showing a bit of weakness, but of course, equities open the day up or down, I should say, about 1.5%. So, not necessarily small moves off the open and across all these assets. But I think the question remains whether or not, is that a local top or are these dips for buying, especially on risk that, in my opinion, especially on these altcoins that still look like charts very conducive and favorable to risk-taking behavior. So I think kind of an interesting little pivot point for Bitcoin here. But I will say I wouldn't want to see it slide too much deeper than here. Or else you are probably talking about a bit of a local top, a pullback, altcoins pull back even more heavily, of course. But I'll be honest, guys. I would say that my base case when I saw that we dumped from CPI this morning was probably that we would have some sort of BART, probably back towards the highs, both in crypto as well as equities. I don't know if it's going to lead necessarily to aggressive continuation in Bitcoin and the S&P, but I do know it would probably be very favorable towards speculative risk like altcoins or, I see the Mag 7 are finally dipping today. So maybe some dips for buying in those sectors as well, guys. But interesting start to the day, right? I mean, it's, we had a huge move on Monday, a bit of mean reversion today. How are we interpreting all of this today, guys? What are we seeing in the markets?
What is CPI? I was just curious because all I see is a market that, basically went from 39K up to 50K. And that was from, the detriment of 30K imminent, coming soon. And now we're talking about a 2K move back down after a massive run up to 50K, right? 1/5 of the total move was done, in a day? And people are upset because the market pulled back. I don't know. Like I question whether CPI is the real reason why we saw a pullback, as opposed to the market just coming back into range. Apple is already starting to do it. Nvidia is already eating through CPI. It doesn't even acknowledge CPI. Nvidia is just like print money, send over, and Chad. That's it. That's all it does. And then you look at Qs, right? Qs pulled back what? 1%, 2%, something like that, roughly. So, again, as much as I love to entertain all the news when it comes to, CPI and economic data, right? Wink, wink. We're all economic masters. If those mattered so much, why are markets moving above all-time highs? Why are they up here? I guess is the question.
Well, let me address some of that, Will. My throat is just, I don't know what it is. I'm not sick. I think I'm talking too much. but we're gonna power through. I've got a cough drop in. I just had to turn my camera off when we got on stream. I have some honey next to my desk because I like to have like granola and yogurt and honey, and I just gizzed like 5 tablespoons of honey. So hopefully we're good to go. But I mean, look, let's talk about the CPI print this morning, guys. It came in a little bit hotter than expected, but CPI is still trending down. So how am I personally interpreting it? Markets dump when they get a piece of information that was not priced in or just unexpected. That's all this was. I don't think it was a bad print. I'm not looking at this as CPI is about to imminently start, ticking back up, and we're going to have a second wave of inflation that's going to cripple the economy or anything like that. Not even close. I mean, inflation is still trending down, but again, I don't know who these hack job, Craigslist analysts are that were projecting a headline print of sub 3%, but they materially mispriced, or I guess I don't even know. They basically just messed it up. They thought it was going to come in a little bit softer. So I'm not concerned about this at all. Honestly, I think some of these levels needed to get tested anyways. I think the real story of today in crypto is Ethereum against Bitcoin, ETH BTC. If you look at ETH, it's at 2640 right now. If you look at ETH BTC, just as Ethereum has been stubbornly refusing to break upwards, it's also putting up a strong protest here at this range low and is refusing to break down. And it definitely had a chance. So I'm looking at this as, Bitcoin tagged 50K. Locally, it was very, very extended. What do we do for a pullback? Probably it's healthy, right? A 2K pullback on Bitcoin when it's at 50K is nothing. When we rally from 38 to 50K in 2 weeks, what do you expect? You're going to pull back eventually, right? Whether it's CPI as the catalyst or just some whale puking his position, doesn't matter. You're going to test some lower levels. But what I'm really interested in is the, dare I call it, relative strength of Ethereum against Bitcoin right now. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, but maybe it's ETH's time to shine finally.
I mean, dude, I think I'm just gonna follow the fractal, man. I really am. It's been playing out pretty nicely. So, local low, run it back, higher low, and then, starting in March, you probably just rally until like May. Seasonally that makes sense. It would be a repeat of this, right?
So bottoms in is what you're saying on the ETH BTC pair.
Oh yeah, I've been saying bottoms in on ETH BTC since here, right? Like this I think was the bottom on ETH BTC. Like you'll need to show some strength, obviously, but I think if it's gonna be similar to last cycle, you would expect the bottom to be in, and that doesn't mean go buy a bunch of ETH right here. If you want to be the most efficient with your capital, you buy ETH right there, right before it does that. But yeah, I don't think it's like this is so bullish for risk in general. You know what I mean? Like this is, if ETH BTC is just gonna grind up all year until like October, what does that imply for USD prices of altcoins across the board and Bitcoin?
During those little spurts of outperformance, like let's say in May, we get that move up to 0.07.
This is like the halving right here.
Alts are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then you don't get the real crazy mania blow off until it looks like Q4 or early Q1.
Yeah, Q4.
But there's still plenty of incentive to try to time out these alt rotations if this fractal does play or something like it, right?
Mm-hmm. I do think some, like mania needs to be kind of contextualized because, mania in the sense of what we had in May of 2021, we are probably a ways away from that, but we can still see prices, I think, in the short term, at least if ETH is really about to rip, we're probably going to see prices on altcoins that induce a certain level of mania for where we're at in the cycle, right? Because we haven't seen.
Tommy, we have.
Well, we have, but we have.
No, we have not. Will.
No.
I mean,
I'm not
no
saying
nature
it's-
is back at its
look,
all-time high. Will we haven't
look,
seen anything close
Will,
to
we
it.
haven't. You're wrong, and here's why. Look at Bitcoin
I'm
dominance.
not saying.
You
I'm not
cannot.
saying.
I refuse to allow you to claim we've had alt season with Bitcoin dominance pressing basically 2-year highs. Okay, I refuse to let you argue that.
Hold on. I'm not. Let me add context. I'm not saying alt season is done. I'm saying it's just getting started, and we've had signals already, and we can pull up our coin that was called at 0.0000 million zeros and a 6, and is now absolutely just skyrocketing. I mean,
But you're talking about like on-chain shitters. You're not talking about majors right now.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No, I'm saying these are just like your.
Because what we're talking about is top 30 projects, 500 mil market cap plus, pulling, 500% moves against Bitcoin. That's the difference.
But that's going to be your next leg in these shitters. That's the thing too. Like a lot of people are going to see these shitters and think it's over, like the whole Pepe and everything else, right? And then you're going to start to see them make bigger legs because Ethereum popped off, or you're going to see them start to make bigger legs because Sol popped off. And so your opportunity, even though Ethereum's a great trade, your opportunity right now in the shitcoin space, we'll just say shitcoin in general, right? Shoot up bubblegum, 5 homeless people, all that good stuff.
Oh my God.
Then at that point, your opportunity cost there is it's amazing. Your RR is amazing. And I think if you're ahead of these moves, that your RR is absolutely incredible. I don't know, like, are we okay with pulling up the chart of the call that we had in the Discord? Where our chads, are up
Which
massively?
one will we have lots of calls in the Discord?
The one that starts with an M.
Ooh, Mog time. This was your play, Will.
Way ahead.
Man, who could have foreseen? Dr. Outlook foreseen.
Now it's
Boom.
I couldn't ethically tell anybody, hey, this is your place of entry, but this is the RR on being ahead of time. And Tommy was close. Tommy played this too. But
doctors take an oath to their patients, Will. You're a good man.
These are all patience plays. That's it. Patience plays. Imagine being at the bottom of that trend line, guys. Because that was every call on that. Every time it touched the trend line, I was like, "This is a buy."
What percent is that up? Is that 2x? The zeros are throwing me
It
off.
almost hit 3x.
Almost 3x. Okay. Nice. Beautiful.
One move almost one move. So, like, again, like these are not, to me, these are not red flags. These are just sparks of life coming back into the market, right? These are your initial signals telling you that altcoin season is close. And that's what I'm saying, more than I'm saying altcoin season is over, right? I'm saying that this is just a trickle of what I think we're going to see in the altcoin season. When you see a swing like that and a massive move and that much enticement, I think you're going to continue to see outperformers, because what they're doing is they're drawing in liquidity, right? And then you're going to start to see Ethereum move, and you're going to start to see Sol move, and everybody thinks the market's going to take off. And then it rolls back to Bitcoin later.
And guys, I am seeing some comments. Jackus just had surgery. He's doing well. I was chatting with him. He should be back later this week. He's just resting up right now. So, of course, wishing him the best. But yeah, he's all good. He should be back later this week. But I want to acknowledge something on the ETH chart that I think is potentially underappreciated. All right. If we look at the ETH chart, looking at the swing fail at 2200, that should not be overlooked. Mainly because, one, it's a high time frame swing fail. Basically, like, bears had the opportunity of a lifetime to nuke Ethereum back under 2000, and they couldn't do it. And we basically inverse barred. Two, it's confluent with a range high retest, as Tucker has drawn here, after a 2-year range breakout at 2145. So we had a swing failed breakdown at 2200, retest of 2145, which was our 2-year range high. All right. That's powerful, guys. That's really, really powerful. That is, to think that we're just going to come back up and just kind of like sweep the high here again after that failed breakdown attempt at 2200 and range high retest on the ultra high time frames. I think the door is open to 3700 right now. I really do. I think the door is open after that clean of a range high retest / failed breakdown attempt. I think you're going to run the Bitcoin Q4 to early Q1 playbook for ETH right now. I think that Bitcoin is 6 months, 4 to 6 months ahead of ETH, and I think the catch up is going to be powerful. So,
well, if you take that see right there, Tucker, where you have that support, put it on the weekly real quick.
Sure, you don't want the monthly, Will?
I mean, I would go decade, but there isn't enough time there. Let's look at the support there. See that high that you have? Let's put a support underneath where it landed, not covering the wicks, but just the bodies.
What?
Will, you got to do better than that.
Will,
bro.
that was
Rise-
not
The
where
high.
it landed.
Will, in your head, that was like
Support.
the most
What are you
clear
talking about?
explanation
This?
ever.
No, the high. Look at the high.
Will, there's a lot of highs on this chart, bro. You
The
got
one where you had the line. What do you mean? The high you
There's
have marked on
3
your chart?
lines.
Will, talk
What?
dates or like, something like that.
2022 flush. Bro, it's the only high you have marked.
You talking
So you're
about
talking
this?
about the one at 3700,
No,
Will?
up at 3,700.
Okay, what about it?
The support for that area.
The underside of that whole structure.
This underside?
Yes.
Okay.
Put a line right there.
Oh,
Will,
man.
you Frankenstein that,
Jeez.
bro. That
All
was
right,
not
now-
as you thought that was coming
Now
out of
scroll
your
out. Now look at your candles where you are.
Right here. Yeah, I see you. I see you.
Yeah, that's insane, Will. That is strength, man.
I see
That's the part I wanted to point out.
I'm just saying, people are freaking out about like this little CPI sell-off. It's crazy to me. Like looking at this chart, it couldn't really look much better. It just couldn't look much better than this.
You hold this range, there's nothing but air up to that high.
And what's that white line at? What level is that exactly?
30.
20. No,
30,
sorry. The one that
what?
Will had you draw. Yeah, 2540.
2350-ish. Yeah, 2350, 2340.
Yeah, man. What are we even talking about here? That looks incredible. That
I
strength
want
is
this
incredible.
FVG flipped, though. I want this FVG flipped.
Oh, it'll flip,
mean-
dude. I mean, I actually think that it's probably going to be helpful to just pull up the Bitcoin chart and look at Bitcoin back in Q4, because I think we're going to run the same playbook. And I think when we sweep 3577, Tucker, that high that you have drawn up there, April and May of 2022, I think we're going to swing fail that one just like Bitcoin did at 49K. We're going to nuke back down to 3,300, and then we're going to run the highs again, just like we just did. I literally think you have the playbook here. If you just follow what Bitcoin did and overlay it for Ethereum, it's probably going to be pretty close.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. This flush here is going the way Bitcoin ran through its flush is going to be the same way Ethereum runs through it. It's going to probably push halfway up. So go to the midline there, Tucker. The middle.
Hang on,
So
I'm going to pull up Bitcoin too. Which one?
So draw a line right in the middle of where you are on ETH.
What? Just like
right there. Yep.
Hang on, this magnet's on what, like
Right
here?
there. Yeah, now pull that to the left a little bit. That's your hesitation area. That's where you're going to hesitate a little bit on your way up. But that's your entire move. And if you were to draw a channel there, I guarantee that that line that you just drew in the middle will line up with your 50 on your channel.
Oh my God. Wait, what was this? Oh my God, guys. Who could have foreseen? Whoa. I literally haven't looked at this in a long time. Oh
What is
man,
this?
I don't know, but it was a fractal
It's
from
fractaling.
from November. Oh man, 54 incoming,
What's
guys.
it come back to? 45?
47.
And by
Bro.
the way, I actually like that level. Is that the Nvidia fractal?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is Nvidia.
Yeah.
And
Bro.
then we're just gonna gap up to 70.
So I actually
Bro.
do like that retest of like 46. I know maybe some people don't want to hear that because they just want up only. But I actually do think it makes sense to retest like 46 to 46.5 at a minimum.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the weekly support. Like when we flip this, because okay, we just had an insane weekly close. Maybe you could zoom in a little bit, Tucker.
Well, no, we need to flip this high. We need to flip like 47.
I'm not as
48.
concerned about that high as I am the base we just built below us. Like the previous weekly high close was what, 44?
Oh, this? Yeah.
Yeah. No. A
42.
little bit higher to the left,
The
right there.
close?
So within that whole structure from December, what was the highest? Where'd the
Oops.
chart? Right there, to the left. So those bodies right there, yeah, 44, 43.9.
Yeah.
I think I don't want a perfect retest of those, but I wouldn't mind, maybe backfilling it into, the wicks or something like that just a little bit.
No, I would mind. That's two. That's a full retrace.
No, but that's not what so I'm talking, yeah, right there, like the midpoint of that 46. I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. That's fine. I'm
That's
saying
fine.
you can't come back to
No.
44.
No, you can't.
That can't happen. Yeah.
It can't happen.
Hey,
It
hey
can't.
If you come all
Max.
the way back down there, then I think you probably just chop for a while and altcoins run.
Do you think that altcoins would run in that scenario? Would they actually run if
After
Bitcoin was
Bitcoin would bottom, yeah, but
Yeah.
not before.
I just want to point out, Max, real quick. I think I sniped another bottom here in the micro channel.
Did you?
Take a look. Yeah. Just in
Let me
case you
take a
guys
look at
are interested in being participators.
Oh, Will, you're deep in the shitters right now. Oh my goodness.
Dude, this fractal is
That is
stupid.
nice. But yeah, I also don't know if that has to happen. Like I guess I could see some arranging up here, but it's really kind of my base case that Bitcoin just crypto even and then risk. I'll expand that out. Like I think that equities and crypto are going to kind of just U-turn locally, this little local jeet that we had this morning from CPI. Again, because it wasn't a bad print. It was just not what was expected. I mean, I just don't really see the case for much lower from here. I don't know if I see Bitcoin gapping up overnight to 70K like Tucker's Fractal suggests, but I do think it's going to go a lot higher. And guys, speaking of going a lot higher, we do need the likes to go a lot higher. All right. I was in California. I was relaxed. I was on vacation. You guys had it easy. All right. And Jackus is out. So you have it really easy. But guys, we're going to need you to do something about the like button. All right. Right now on YouTube, we got 106 people watching. We got 48 likes. Guys, we don't even have a half. We don't even have half of you guys liking it on YouTube. Guys, we got to do something about that. If you are enjoying the content so far, if you are enjoying the stream, if you appreciate what we're doing here, all we ask of you right now is you just take one quick moment and hit that thumbs up button for us, guys. It really does wonders for the channel. I promise we wouldn't ask, we wouldn't bug you if it didn't make a big difference, but unfortunately, the incentive structure at YouTube is a little backwards and they demand that we push for likes. So guys, if you want us to keep doing this, if you want to help us out, please just hit that thumbs up button for us. It really only takes a second. You're watching the stream. Maybe you got headphones in. Maybe you even have to pull your phone out of your pocket. God forbid, just take one quick moment, navigate your thumb or your pointer finger on your mouse, click that thumbs up button for us, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. And for those of you watching on Twitter/X, you're not safe either. We got a lot of you guys watching on Twitter right now. We got 40 people watching on Twitter. We got a lot more on YouTube, right? We got over 100 on YouTube. But you know what? You guys aren't safe either. I'm actually going to request more of you guys on Twitter because it's so easy on Twitter because you're already automatically logged in. if you are on Twitter and you are enjoying the stream so far, maybe you're new here, maybe you're a regular, hit that heart button for us, guys. And one more, I'm not done with you guys on Twitter yet. Hit that retweet button for us. Guys, help push this content. Help us grow. You guys are the best audience in the world, and we are so appreciative of the community aspect. And that's why we love showing up every single day, but we need you guys to help us. It's a fair ask. It is a fair exchange of services. We show up. We do an hour to an hour and a half a day of free alpha dumping here on YouTube and on Twitter, and all we request is that you guys pay us back by liking, subscribing, and if you're on Twitter, retweeting. Tell a friend. But anyways, Tucker, back to you. What is this propaganda? This looks like good propaganda.
Yeah, man. I can't wait for the gap up to 70K, man.
We could on the CME chart, man. You know,
look at okay, so I fit it a little better. I mean, basically it implies like we're pretty much gonna set the high around here, 51.5, maybe pull back to 40. But like, look, this is what I'm most interested in is the fact that we should hang out above 48K until the end of February. Like this should be your altcoin run. Like this area right here. You should see altcoins blast off. And then I think these are weekly candles. Yeah, 1 week, pull back, EQ the weekly FVG, go ahead and gap up to 65K. So I don't even know what this would look like on Bitcoin, though. I mean, like this, it should be bullish, but.
So Tucker, you're saying we should have our bags packed and winners?
Yes, of course. Well, we've been screaming this for months. I don't know what people are doing.
So Tucker, I'm going to request a favor of you now. All right. I want you to save this. All right. Can you go to your object tree and just save all of it? So go to the right. Yeah. Click on that. Highlight all that. Put it in a folder because I want you to come back to this. But I want to.
How do I highlight more than one thing?
Hold down Shift and then click the bottom horizontal ray after you've already clicked the first rectangle. And then folder in the top left. There you go. Bang, bang. All right. Perfect.
Cool.
Isn't that crispy?
What should I call it, man?
Nvidia fractal.
Crispy.
Yeah. What else could it be called? Perfect. All right. I'd like you to put your chart in log mode because I really think this is where we're at. I know you guys don't
log or
when you're in a bull market. When you're in a bull market, you have to put it on log. End of discussion.
Do you want like BLX or something or BTC?
No. This is fine. This is totally fine. I'd like you to actually, you know what? Let's fuck around and put it on BLX. Yeah, let's do that. Now I'm gonna hang with me. I have some requests. I'm gonna do it in a non-bossy fashion, but I'm gonna need you to hunker down and curate some propaganda for me. I'm gonna need you to put on a simple daily moving average for me. All right. So
a simple daily.
So just simple moving average, and then you can lock it in on the daily time frame. All right.
Yes.
Go down to technicals, Tucker.
Hang on, that should be a good one.
But can you lock it on the daily? That's the thing. With that one, I don't think you can.
No, you can't.
No, you
just
can't.
Go to technicals.
Yep. So just go to technicals. Go to simple moving average.
I never use the like classic ones or whatever.
All right. This is showing you weird ones. Just go. We just need like the normal trading view on moving average simple.
Where?
So just get off of this, I guess. Just type in moving average and it'll show up. See down there, moving average simple. Right there. All right, fantastic. Now let's go into our settings there. We're going to lock it on the daily time frame on the very bottom.
Daily.
And we're going to type in the length as 117. All right.
On
top. Yep, right there. You don't have to touch the smoothing. Perfect. Okay. This is your real bull market support band. Okay. This 117 day simple moving average is your real one. Now, Tucker, I need 2 more favors from you. All right.
I need a better color. Yeah.
I need a horizontal line drawn on Bitcoin's, the top of Bitcoin's price action before last bull market. It was like what was it, April maybe or May, right there. Yep, that high, just draw it across. Now let's draw one basically where we're at right now. Nope.
What do you mean
So-
where we're at right now?
So to the right. December weekly high of this up. December of this year.
Oh,
December
this
of this year. Up. Or I'm sorry,
mean
December of last year.
year.
Yeah, right there. So right there. I'm pretty sure this is playing. So we just retested our true bull market support band, the 117-day simple moving average. And for those of you that are curious where I got this, it's the closest moving average that I could possibly fit to the bottom line of the pi cycle top indicator. It's not perfect, but I tinkered with exponential moving averages, simple moving averages, whole moving averages, all your moving averages. All right. And this one is very, very close. And it is your true bull market support band. So after tinkering around, chopping above and beneath it, we finally come back, have a solid retest of it after a nice move up. And then we flip that structure. I'm pretty sure this is where we're at. Pretty sure this is going to play.
So you think we're right here?
More or less. It won't be perfect, but yes, I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And there's confluence backing up this chart. You don't have to look up this unless we want to. But if you look at like total 2, and total 3, there's some high time frame oscillators, that are suggesting we are about to enter like the face ripper of all face rippers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is probably where we're at, guys.
Yeah.
And on total 2, by the way, Tucker,
Yeah.
that I find even more interesting because I think ETH is going to perform somewhat well here. Maybe instead of total 3, I know you like total 3. If you pull up total 2.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's already got it done.
There's already propaganda.
So maybe you could put on the MACD on the monthly time frame, because that is a very revealing perspective. Okay.
Oh,
Is that the Fu Manchu?
You guys aren't ready for that yet. You guys
So I want to identify. Oh, you know what you actually need to do, Tucker? I'm going to give you a little hack here because we're on log. Delete this, delete that chart, or delete the MACD. You're going to type in on your indicators MACD log, and it's the top one. This dude made a fantastic MACD that works on log.
I see.
Go to the monthly for me. Look at that. What are we talking about here? Look at the last time we crossed. Where were we?
Damn, this makes me think this is going to be the last cycle, though, bro.
I don't care.
No, there's no such thing. All right, there's no such thing as the last cycle.
This
Dude, this thing is
think
going negative, man.
This doesn't make me think it's the last cycle. This makes me think this is about to be the craziest cycle we've ever had. Because
Tucker,
I think a lot of people are arguing that this is going to be only a Bitcoin type of cycle because of the ETFs. And I would actually contend the exact opposite. I think the alt mania that we're going to see this cycle will be hands down the craziest alt season that we've ever seen. The reason is because Wall Street is going to go further out on the risk curve, and they have more capital than all of us combined. They're going to get a taste of Bitcoin, and they are going to go so far out on the risk curve, chasing beta in crypto for the first time ever. This is going to be the .com bubble of crypto. It's going to be absolutely insane. You're going to see a lot of vaporware hitting $100 billion valuations. Maybe it is the last cycle. I don't know. I don't really care because I'm convicted in this cycle because I'm pretty sure I know what's about to happen.
Yeah, this is what we want to see. I mean, no, this will break out, right? But like, if this thing ever goes below 0, it's gonna be tough.
So what if you just drew a trend line there from those two highs, Tucker, on the MACD? What if the MACD breaks out instead? What if it's You know what I mean? What if we end up curling back up and we go to, 1.5 on the MACD, have a bear market, but that's like the global low that gets set and it never goes below. You know what I mean by that? Like it kind of oscillates up.
I mean,
Exactly. Makes a new high. No.
Max, Max is 100% right. It's gonna do. Do you see the previous high? It's gonna go all the way back to the top, reset, and do the same thing it did last time. That's all these oscillators do. They don't actually say the cycle ends. They simply reset the cycle, right? So this next cycle is gonna be like the first cycle. It's gonna be absolutely astronomical. And then the cycle after that's going to be a lot more depressing, right? It's not going to be anywhere near the previous cycle. And then the next cycle after that will be again a full reset, and then you're going to see astronomical pricing again. This is where you really can make bags on alts.
for
Like
sure.
This
For
is the
sure.
this is the
craziest
spot.
cycle. And Tucker, maybe just for a little exercise, you could just keep up the MACD, put Bitcoin up here, put BLX up here. Let's see if in the early stages of Bitcoin, given that we've had more monthly crosses on the MACD.
This goes back to 2011. That's good.
That's good enough. So it's like I just don't. I think, yeah, you're going to probably continue to make like these.
I mean, this is just a diminished returns thing, right?
Yeah.
You know,
That's how I view it.
like,
But it's
I
like, who
think-
cares, right? Like you expect that.
I think part of the issue with looking at things like total 2 or total 3 though are that the contents of them aren't necessarily reflective of what people are speculating on right now, if that makes sense. But
yeah, they also change what's in them all the time. Not all the time, but they add shit constantly to them.
Yeah, but that's like saying the S&P 500 is, not a good index because they're modifying what's in it all the time.
No, it's never the S&P 501. Throw that point out. That's one for Tucker. They're never adding companies to it, though. You know what I mean? Total 2, they're just like, oh yeah, there's another 1,000 shit coins putting in it. Like, I see the points. I see the points. I've just never been a MacD before, so this is all kind of not new, but I just don't really I just don't really look at it.
No, I don't use it exclusively, right? But I find a lot of signal in the higher time frame MACD and RSI. Like Tucker, we were talking about monthly Bitcoin RSI the other day.
Yeah, it smacks.
A lot of signal in that. I think there's just as much signal in these MACD monthly crossovers when it comes to high time frame investing. I think there's just as much signal.
Well, MACD, stochastic are like RSI. The biggest thing is to understand that that strength is one of the most important things in any asset, right? And all these measure that. They measure strength. And when you look at it from that aspect, it tells you kind of what the appetite for the asset class is based on the strength. And I think once the appetite diminishes so far, you get a depreciation value that causes over appreciation to extremes, right? And that's basically what's happened to this altcoin market. It's gotten crushed so much since 2021 that you could see a lot of speculation, a lot of growth into the altcoin market, especially going into this new market with Bitcoin ETFs being out. People feel more comfortable with crypto and wanting to take even more risks this cycle than they did in 2021 and apply even more capital this time around than they did in 2021. And then at this point, they're trying to expand their bags, right? They're going further out. And this is what I've been telling people, like risk curve matters. But go ahead, Max. I know you want to cook on that.
No, that's a fantastic point. I completely agree with that. Is that this is going to be the craziest cycle we've ever had. People are going to go further out on the risk curve than they ever have before because they're feeling a little bit more insulated. They're feeling a little bit more empowered by some of the regulatory clarity and, dare I say, even like federal endorsements of crypto. And, they're going to speculate like crazy. They're going to speculate like, literally like this is the last cycle. And it's not, but they're going to.
I also think it's a demographic thing. Sorry for cutting you off, Max, but it's like younger people are all I mean, we're a gambling generation. I want to say that over $1 billion in bets were just placed on the Super Bowl this past Sunday. So
By Tucker and you together.
Indeed. Yeah.
So I
man.
think it's like a generational shift too. That I mean, you're probably going to see. I forgot who said it a long time ago, but essentially, like the best opportunities in crypto are either going to be like these low beta coins that slowly grind up over time, or they're going to be super far down the risk curve, on-chain shit coins, like a dog with hat type of thing, you know? So I mean, I think that the crypto cycles are probably only going to get larger at the end of the day as people our age view crypto as a vehicle to, quote unquote, escape the matrix.
Dude, look at this.
I forgot
line,
we had this. Hold up. I forgot we even had this on. Spencer, welcome, brother. I forgot we made this little membership on YouTube.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Hey, Spencer. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining.
Let's go.
I literally forgot we even had this on. We put it on like it was like with super chats. It's like you can enable super chats and memberships. And I think we just threw a couple memberships on. Oh, I remember I priced the other membership at like $500 a month just in case someone wanted to sign up. But yeah, thank you, Spencer. Welcome, man. I think you're like one of 2 members we have here on YouTube. I love it, man. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the support.
BB family grows every day.
Dude, it really does. They're gonna be mad when I close off the Discord permanently, man. Oof, that's gonna be a buzzkill. And then we're gonna say, who could have foreseen Max closing off the Discord to ensure quality control? And they're gonna say, I want to get in, and I'm gonna go, oh, we gotta wait for members to drop, which doesn't happen often. That's tough life, it's a tough life with Max warning you every day. Tucker, what is this propaganda?
Dude, look at this line, man. This is unfathomable. This is unbelievable. Okay, total on log scale. Just connected this high to this low. Like you would have caught the COVID body closes. You would have literally, where is it? Look at this. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding?
Who could have
On the monthly lifetime log trend line? I mean,
oh my goodness, dude.
The reclaim basically bid this line essentially if you ever get it. I mean, I doubt we get it from here, but
all other technicians are in shambles after line. Here's the thing though, that might be your bear market bottom of next cycle, because look, it called the previous 2 bear market bottoms. This is our bear market trend line, Tucker.
That's unbelievable.
Look at the 2-tap, bro. That's the coolest part, is the 2-tap.
Yeah, the 2-tap.
It calls the bottom, and then we deviate below it, and that's like your last chance to shove. It did it.
The COVID call ors that we're gonna do this. Oh wait,
no. We already did that.
We already did that. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Imagine calling for COVID. Imagine. Could never.
I would never call for that. That could never happen. That is a very interesting find. It's crazy to me that people still say that TA doesn't work. They're like, oh, it's just voodoo lines. It doesn't work. And I'm like, no, like I promise you, it works too well. It works where it's almost problematic.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm TAing shitcoins, though.
What are we talking about here?
We always assign narratives to how price moves after. So it's why I always find the whole concept of like a black swan to be such a meme. Like it was unironically probably in the chart somewhere. You just kind of missed it. And then after the fact, we're going to call it a black swan because we didn't, I mean, at the time, nobody would have realized positioning was in such a state, but price and market structure usually gives you plenty of indicators ahead of time that it's coming.
And that's a great point, Tommy. And Tucker, I want to touch on where this line peaks out. Okay. Because I've had this working theory for a while and I want to run it by you guys. I've seen a lot of people calling for 10 trillion market cap this cycle. And I actually think we're going to go higher than that. I actually think that unlike the last cycle where everybody wanted 10K ETH and it got front ran, and everybody wanted 100K Bitcoin and it got front ran. I think 10K or 10 trillion market cap for total right now is kind of what most people are shooting for. I think we're going to flip that. I really do. And it goes back to what I was alluding to earlier, in that I believe this cycle is going to be the most motivating for people to go further out on the risk curve than they previously have. And again, there's more money in circulation now than there ever has been. I think that the bull market that we had in 2020 through 2021 was more or less just Bitcoin very slightly outpacing the debasement of the US dollar. Like, I know we tracked up against it. Okay. We were in a very highly inflated period of time. There was, a capitulation in interest rates, which fueled a rally. And I really think that you just saw assets kind of correct to try to find fair value against this new monetary regime where we doubled the monetary base in 2 years and they dropped interest rates to zero. Okay. I don't even know if that was a real bull market. I feel like that was just like a price. It was literally like a price correction to the upside to take into consideration those two factors. Again, the doubling of the money supply in less than 2 years and interest rates going to zero. I feel like the bull market is literally just starting right now and we're about to go nuts. Okay. And I feel like we're going to greatly exceed 10 trillion, and it'll probably be like 13, 14, 15 trillion total, nuke to 7. And then we probably have another leg up from there, in my opinion. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but I don't know if I really see this cycle being like heavily diminished. I see a lot of people speculating, saying like, what's going to move it like that? I just don't see that happening. How it's just going to take so much liquidity to bring the market higher. I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten what a crypto bull market can be like. And this isn't like a crazy bull market that we're already in, guys. Like, people are feeling like things are heating up. They're not at all. It's like you got to really think back hard to what 2019 through 2021 was like. This is nothing yet, guys. This is nothing. This isn't even the test pump. This is like the plane is leaving the terminal, getting ready to take off. It hasn't even taken off yet. So I don't know. I really hate to even come on here and just be like Mr. Hopium, Mr. Moonboy, because you guys know I'm not like that. But the more I think about it, and this is where it stems from. Okay. One, look at what's happening with Nvidia, okay, and Meta and all these stocks, multi-billion or multi-trillion dollar companies trading like shit coins. Okay. There is a new paradigm in town, and $100 billion or $1 trillion is not what it used to be. And that's the truth. Okay. So when you say, oh, $100 billion market cap for a shit coin is so much, it was 5 years ago. It's not anymore. Okay. Look at some of these charts in legacy. $100 billion is not what it used to be. $1 trillion is not what it used to be. Bitcoin going to 250K or 500K is not what it used to be. It doesn't mean the same thing. Just like 100K a year when I graduated college was a lot of money. 100K a year now doesn't get you as much as you'd think. Okay. It's still fine, but it really is not what it used to be. So again, I think people are having a tough time until it happens. You have a tough time wrapping your head around these new valuations because they seem crazy. Okay. It seems crazy to say, and I remember I've told you guys this example before. I was driving to Chicago with a friend and I watched Apple cross $1 trillion market cap for the first time. That was the first company, publicly traded company, to trade at a $1 trillion valuation. I said to myself, wow, there's no way we're going to hit $2 or $3 trillion. And then what, like 2 years later, we were at like 3 trillion or something like that. It's craziness. So you break through that glass ceiling and then it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Okay. So I'm just saying, like, you saw a lot of, blue chip altcoins last cycle, tag 70 to 100 billion. I think you're going to see this next cycle, this next batch of, blue chip alts probably tag, 100 to 175 billion. And that'll be this cycle's kind of blue chip altcoin valuation peak, because it's simply not what it used to be. All right. It really is not what it used to be. Projects launching at $1 billion market cap to start, not what it used to be. But your mind has a tough time adjusting for that. So
I think if you like, for me, it was kind of a red pill in itself. And, you know, I knew the large caps could pump like crazy, but Nvidia went up 50% almost in 3 weeks. And that I like trying to wrap my brain around the market cap metrics. And if you were speculating on Nvidia, you're not wrapping your brain around those metrics. Market caps don't matter in a bull run when you get to the top or when you get to these absurd valuations, Max. You're absolutely right. But that Nvidia pump, if you think that Nvidia can pump like 50% in 3 weeks, but Bitcoin can't, you know, hit X market cap, or altcoin A or B can't hit X market cap, then I think that's just kind of ludicrous. It's just a matter of there's more attention on Nvidia than there is Bitcoin right now. And when that shifts, it'll probably shift quickly and very dynamically.
it's a great point. It's a great point. I mean, Tucker pulled a Tommy for me. He put me on the screen.
I did.
This is
Should
a nice
we look
little
at
chart.
the Nvidia Bitcoin chart real
Yeah,
quick?
we should do it. Let's do it right now.
Because like when are we prospecting a bottom on that thing? I feel like there have been a lot of places where it should have bounced and it just hasn't. Even today, you know, the whole Mag 7 is red and Nvidia is freaking green.
That's
I mean,
what I was
this looks-
saying, bro. People are high. They're literally high. Not
I mean,
seeing
this
what's going on.
is Nvidia Bitcoin. So I mean, Bitcoin Nvidia would be what this. I mean, this looks kind of terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
Like this kind of looks. I can't unsee this right here. You know.
That looks like Bitcoin's breaking out against Nvidia finally. Can you invert that?
So this is Nvidia Bitcoin. This is Nvidia breaking out against Bitcoin.
Mhm.
But since
So
we
that-
inverted it, it's actually
No,
Bitcoin.
wait, is that inverted or not, Max?
This is normal. This is Nvidia
Oh,
Bitcoin.
you had originally inverted it.
Yeah, this just for the audience, this right here means that Nvidia is performing better than Bitcoin. All right here. Nvidia is outperforming Bitcoin. I actually kind of see that.
Channel.
I kind of see this, guys. Hang on one second. Let me cook on this. This is an interesting one. God, I hate that it does this every time. I can't get it to unsave. It like saves these stable coins. I was doing some freakish analysis on stable coin market caps and it just will not. All right. I know you guys are going to like this one. Do we see the 64K top on Bitcoin? Anybody? Any takers?
Mm. I mean, I see the 1, 2, 3, 4. The high is not a lower high though. The bleed is real, but
Tough to know.
I don't know. I just saw it in my head.
yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, dude, they can both go up. It doesn't even matter, man. Like, it doesn't even. They'll both go higher.
Yeah,
It is something to think about though, because it was something I was kind of pondering over last week. Like, you know, we've been playing crypto and it might have been easier if we had just played tech stocks in the same amount of time, just because of how one directional the price action ultimately was, and things like Nvidia and then things
Imagine
like
calls, bro. Like I was talking about it here live on the show. 550 Nvidia. I said,
bro, me too, man.
800.
Shit, me too.
800.
Oh,
And people said I was freaking high. Now
man,
look at it.
I had a fractal that sent us to like 720 that I was talking about back in December, and I ended up closing my calls, I think, near like 615. Oh, man.
people have forgotten. I mean, look at this, man. This is just. You think Nvidia like?
That is an insane chart, by the way. Like Nvidia, if you were to trade the structure, I think about this all the time. If you were to trade the structure and erase the last year and a half of price action, that's a market. It looks like a market structure break almost. And like the bounce you would expect to be a complacency shoulder before much lower. And it did not do anything like that.
Dude, this move right here, by the way, Tommy, this reminded me of the sentiment for Bitcoin when it was at 28K right here, how it just came back from the dead. This was a certain distribution here. Everybody, like, we knew we were going to fill this gap, bro. Like, everybody was like, this gap is getting filled. Even me, I was like, this thing is cooked, man. They're going to fill this gap. And it just came back from the dead, man. Like, look at that. And that reminds me, guys, what I'm saying is that reminds me of this right here, where everybody was like, oh, Bitcoin is done. It is cooked. Head and shoulders. Boom, you're done. Back from the dead. Same sentiment. You know, the chart's not exactly the same, but the same feel.
You guys know the really randomly, I put this comment up here just so I could spit some alpha real quick. You guys know the alpha about Kirkland brand, right?
That's a recession hedge, right?
No, the a lot of the Kirkland products are actually like they package it as generic and store brand, but they're actually like very high quality items.
Well,
like
for sure. Yeah.
Oh, you know
vodka,
what I did here,
Grey
Tommy,
Goose.
is that Titleist Pro V1 golf ball.
Yeah.
They're the same as Kirkland.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of the Kirkland stuff is actually really, really nice. So I'm a Costco maxi, by the way, guys. I felt like I had to highlight that
Bro, I
comment.
love Costco. I'm not gonna lie, man. Food court, everything there is so great.
Dude,
The chicken bakes. Ooh. Oh my
The
goodness.
steaks are good too, though. They're not bad, man. See, them are butchers for me.
I haven't had anything bad from Costco, man. Not in a while.
Dude, I was there literally yesterday. Insane.
That chart deserves to be up only, man.
But here's the thing. When we were in the bottom of the bear, everybody's talking about how Costco's gonna suffer so much, it's gonna collapse. The stock's gonna break down, you know, to extreme lows because nobody's gonna buy there. And look at it today.
Look at Costco just chatting against the SPX.
Bro, like people like
all you had to do is just buy Costco. That's it. It's your whole portfolio. All you
actually
have to do.
Hot dog still $1.50,
bro,
man.
Mercator is actually on point. I think I read an article that they sold like 1.5 million or 1. I don't want to go extremes, but it was like some obscene, maybe like 105 million or
dude.
1.5
and they pay you a little.
billion.
They pay you a little 0.5% dividend also, Will. Come on, man. What are we talking about? That's that juicy yield you live for.
And just hot dogs, guys. All right.
Will wants his yield in hot dogs, man.
Look, let me find
I denominate my net worth in Costco hot dogs, man. I take profits directly into Costco hot dogs.
You could.
Dude, they made bank on hot dogs, bro. Like
I would like a proxy option to bet on the actually I would like to short volatility of Costco food court prices. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah. Well, they brought
Costco hot dogs are just vol suppressed, man.
Yeah.
They got
the most crowded trade in all of equity land was actually and our hot dogs just go to like $100 randomly one day.
Dude, they just blow up. VIX spike, confluent with Costco hot dog spike to $100 a dog.
The hidden leverage was there all along. You just couldn't see it, man.
In 2018, Costco sold 135 million hot dogs. Denominate that in dollars. Okay. And it says that's more than the margins are massive.
On the hot dogs? I feel like they lose money on the hot dogs just to get you into the store or something like that.
No, it's not the hot dogs. They lose money on some things, but it's not hot dogs. Hot dogs are up big time because hot dogs are like pennies for them to make, right? And they sell them for $1. And so you get a whole pack of hot dogs probably cost them like $1 or $2. And then if you're looking at the like their margins are actually really high. It says it's generating over 100 million in quarterly sales on hot dogs. And then on top of that, it says they sold more hot dogs than every major league baseball stadium combined.
Costco's
Imagine.
America's company, man.
They lose money on the rotisserie chickens.
They do. And they put them in
do.
the
I
back
think
of
on
the
the
store, so
chicken.
you got to walk by everything else you don't need.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right,
they give
They
up
lose
some
money on the
to
rotisserie chicken. That's based.
It is based.
all right, we're gonna look at this, guys. We're gonna look at this on National Jeet Day. That all the CPI boys telling you that the market's cooked and it's over. And yeah, what was the print this morning? 3.1% or something. Literally, like, didn't even matter.
It
What
missed
was
by
it?
1 basis point of pretty much across the board.
Dude, a bunch of absolute freaks, man. Just losing their mind over a nothing burger print. We're going to talk about high time frame cycles for Bitcoin. All right. The best indicator out there, it's normie, it's left curve. You can't fade it, even if you want to. Pi cycle top indicator.
Yeah,
You simply cannot fade it. Do not fade it. Do not fade it. It calls all the tops. I know it's bothersome that it does. It bothers me too, because I spent a lot of time working on my game, learning new strategies. And all you got to know is the pi cycle top. All right. It's maddening, but it fucking works. It always does. Here's monthly RSI for Bitcoin. I've got it marked out in the previous cycles when monthly RSI is basically where we're at right now. I think we're at 65, 66, something like that. I marked out where we are in previous cycles as well. All right. I marked it by these red dots. I hope you guys can see them. And also these black lines, the vertical ones. Okay. Look at where we're at. All right. Look at where we're at and look at how you're freaking out about a nothing burger CPI print and calling this cycle is over. Look at it. I want you to look at it. And I want you to go look in the mirror and throw a glass of cold water on your face and say, look at this chart. Screenshot this. It's this simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate it. Look at what Nvidia is doing. Look at what Meta is doing. The Fed is paused. Inflation is under control. People still have jobs. We just had 9 spot ETFs get approved with constant inflows, and everybody's
The
losing their
inflows have
mind.
been really surprising, man, and in a good way.
Really good.
I think even the most adamant bulls are probably a little bit surprised by how big the initial inflows are.
Tommy, the spot ETFs own more Bitcoin than Sailor and MicroStrategy.
I know.
So
They've been buying a lot of corn.
Considering Michael Saylor, so let's count MicroStrategy as its own ETF. Okay, it's effectively a spot ETF. All right. MicroStrategy and all the actual spot ETFs hold over 2% of all of the Bitcoin now. And there's other mega entities as well. If you look at the top Bitcoin wallets, I mean, if you want to talk about true institutional, corporate demand, it's there. You know, it's there. Last I checked, I think the spot ETFs held over 200 and some thousand. It's 230,000 Bitcoin. That was last week. I haven't checked it today. Sailor and MicroStrategy own damn near 200,000. You know, and they're continuing to accumulate. This whole meme of there might only be 21, there's only 21 million might actually not be a meme, guys. It was a meme last cycle. It was a meme last cycle. It might be real, guys. There might actually be a coming to Bitcoin moment when people wake up and they go, wait a second, there's unlimited dollars and I can borrow those. And there's finite Bitcoin. Huh. Okay. This might not be such a goofy investment after all. And then there's suddenly only 21 million. That might actually happen this cycle. You know, and your mind can't wrap itself around this idea of valuations. You know, it seems there's this glass ceiling in place. Again, I mentioned when I saw Apple hit $1 trillion. It's the same thing. Bitcoin can't go to 500K because the 1 week RSI would be too overbought. You know, I mean, guys, let's take a step back here. Okay, let's look at something else here. I want to look at this chart. Okay. You want to see what a bloated valuation looks like? You want to see what the mind not being able to wrap itself around valuations looks like? This is where your parents keep their money. Okay? This is where your parents keep their money. Right here. Your mind can't wrap itself around this because guess what? when we were down here, when your parents got their first job right out of college, oh, dollar cost average into this, and you're going to be retired by the time you're 50 or 60, Here we are, 1970, they're getting chopped up. They're, mindlessly DCAing into their retirement accounts.
Was mindlessly DCAing into your retirement even a thing like during the quote unquote lost decade, or was that something that emerged after the 40-year run up?
I actually don't know because I wasn't born for another 20 years, but I can only assume people had retirement accounts then as well, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we go, DCA in, you'll retire happily, and then look at what happens, Look at what happens. And guess what happened during this time period, right? Guess what happened right here, guys? Guess what happened right in here? Your dollar was no longer backed by gold, and then look at what happened, and then how about right here? Oh, we'll never recover from the dot-com crash. I mean, look at valuations are crazy. There's companies that are worth $50 million. That's craziness. We'll never recover from that. Oh man, look at what happens now. Look at this. And what's crazy too is we're gonna look at this period of time right here. We'll probably get something, a little more wasted time. And we're going to look at this, oh, I can't make it in the equity markets because Nvidia is worth multiple trillions and Apple's worth multiple trillions, and I already missed the boat. Your mind can't wrap itself around a $10 trillion valuation for a single company. Okay? It can't. It can't wrap its head around this. It can't. Obviously, I'm being a little bit dramatic, right? But you understand the point, okay? Now I have to put it in log to look at it. It just keeps happening. Your mind can't wrap itself around this idea. Just like your mind can't wrap itself around a 500K Bitcoin right now, or a $200 billion shitcoin that literally doesn't do anything. Can't wrap itself around it. You have to know your own limitations. You have to know that your own limitations that you impose upon yourself. That's it. That's it. End of my spiel. That's it. Look at this chart, man. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So I look at this chart and I go, what are we even complaining about, Like, oh, Bitcoin went from 50K to 48.5 on a nothing burger CPI print, and all the macro boys who literally have just been screaming at you since 20K, telling you that Bitcoin is dead. There was a dude that went on Joe Rogan and literally said that Bitcoin would go negative like oil did,
The only major that can actually go negative is ETH because of the supply mechanics. I mean that it can literally go negative because of the new supply mechanics. But I mean, Bitcoin's not going negative.
Here's the problem, Tommy, is you don't understand ultrasound money. All right.
I understand reflexive Ponzi-nomics. I've got a master's degree in reflexive Ponzi-nomics, man.
You have a PhD in Ponzi-nomics. Got it from the streets. The only asset that is going to go up forever against Bitcoin and the S&P 500 is Bitcoin puppets. And you guys know that.
Real.
The apex asset. All right, Nick said, give us something on Pepe. Nick, here's the thing. I'm going to level with you, man. I hate talking about Pepe, but I love Pepe. Let me explain. I have my Pepe and a fat bag of it. Some of the guys on this panel know how much I own of Pepe. It's a stupid amount of Pepe, all right? It's a lot. I've got it in cold storage. I'm a believer in Pepe. I'm going to ride Pepe for sure. High conviction play. But I hate talking about Pepe because every time I talk about Pepe, some lunatic comes into the channel, comes into the chat, quote tweets me on Twitter, DMs me something ridiculous about this new fork of Pepe that's a complete scam, or some other shit coin that, is just has no chance of succeeding. Have you checked out, Golden Retriever coin? Have you checked out, Jason Statham's cat coin, you know, like just ridiculous stuff, you know? And here's how you know Pepe is going to do well is because these other shit coins that have no chance of succeeding, they come and they spam the chat, you know, when Pepe gets brought up, and they spam my posts on Twitter about Pepe. I love Pepe, man, but it's so difficult to talk about it because it brings out the most freakish people on the entire internet, you know? People that have their entire, you know, $15 net worth in some meme coin, and they got suckered into, and I feel bad for those people. They're victims to these scams. You know, and they blow me up. So I'll talk about it, you know, but it's like it drives me crazy. You know, these people just every time I mention Pepe, I get spammed, you know, and I guess for better or for worse. But let's talk about it. Oh man, what are these lines up here? Oh my goodness, I didn't mean to show these on stream. My goodness, is this 1.5 billion, 3 billion, 6 billion, 12 billion, 24 billion, 50 billion, 100 billion? Oh man, I didn't plan to show these on stream today. Well, I guess here they are.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think the degeneracy in this coming market is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going I'm literally just going to be playing fibs. I'm not going to be playing narratives. I'm not going to get played into that.
How can you look at Solana shitcoining and even to a lesser extent ETH shitcoining like 6 or 7 months ago and think that it's going to be less chaotic this cycle? I would argue that the de facto fourth wall has been broken between the market and its participants. That all that matters for a huge group of participants is literally just number go up, and they will bet on the most ridiculous green candles that they possibly can if they think that it's just going to go up. And it's not as simple as just pricing assets based on, you know, real world valuations. There's like two different spheres of, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, I do. They'll understand. I mean, here's the thing: people will be hesitant to buy a new altcoin that's at a $2 billion valuation and 10 billion FDV because it feels bloated, but they'll happily buy it 5x to 7 to 10x higher than that, because it'll feel more comfortable and it'll be more widely shilled, and they'll feel confident in a 2x from there, you know? So it's just, you know, time will come. Oh yeah, man, Carl, I have a lot of STX, man. STX is one of my it's one of my favorite bags right now. We can talk about STX later, but yeah, man, Pepe's by the way also completely called this bottom on Twitter. This was tweeted literally at this low right here. Said this is your capitulation day on Pepe. Go check the receipts. It's right there. Yeah, Pepe's going to do fantastic, guys. And I have conviction in Pepe. One, I mean, just from like the simplest form of TA, right? Like the simplest form of TA. What are we talking about here? Inverse head and shoulders. Okay. That's fantastic. I have a lot more that I'm leaning into, more than just a high time frame inverse head and shoulders. But let's look at like Pepe. Here's Pepe Doge. So I didn't expect us to go quite this deep into demand. For those that don't know what this is, Pepe Doge is Pepe denominated in Doge. And the reason that I did that was Bitcoin, Doge is effectively the Bitcoin of meme coins. All right. It's been around since 2014. It's proof of work. It's decentralized. It's the OG. All right. Doge is effectively the Bitcoin of meme coins. So when you're evaluating meme coins, there's no point in holding a meme coin if it bleeds in perpetuity over a high time frame against Doge. Just like there's no point in holding any altcoin if it bleeds against Bitcoin in perpetuity, which is why all of the guys that hold Litecoin and that little cult, you know, they're like, oh, you should check out Litecoin, check out Litecoin. Litecoin has been bleeding against Bitcoin forever. It goes on these crazy little pumps from time to time, but from a high time frame perspective, it doesn't make sense to hold something that bleeds like that against Bitcoin forever. You shouldn't hold anything that bleeds against Bitcoin over a high time frame. If you want to talk to me about hitting some cycles, you know, and just like playing Litecoin level to level, that's fine. Yeah. What's up, Tommy?
But do you hold Litecoin?
Do I hold Litecoin?
But do you hold Litecoin? I won't even lie. I was looking at the chart like a day or two ago. I could not find one thing to be optimistic about.
It's not for me. The most hope that Litecoin guys had was that I think Costco was getting integrated into payments or something. That was FUD last cycle. Like there was some fake tweet. That was there's no point in it, man. I mean, it's a fork of Bitcoin, and it's like there's nothing wrong with Bitcoin. There's layer 2 scaling that effectively accomplishes the same thing, and it doesn't have a founder that dumped his entire bag on you. You know, it's like whatever. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. The point of me mentioning Litecoin was you don't want to hold anything that bleeds in perpetuity against Bitcoin, whether it's Litecoin, whether it's whatever. So when I'm evaluating meme coins, I want to see if my meme coin of choice bleeds against Doge. And I know a lot of meme coins are new and you don't have enough information, but Pepe, I feel as though we can determine it's respecting the levels, which is important. It's respecting the levels. So here's what Pepe looks like against Doge. So if you look at if you were to look at Doge and determine, all right, Doge is going to go to $1. And if the Pepe Doge chart looks like this, you can just get rid of this. And the Pepe Doge chart goes straight up in a straight line and Doge goes to $1. Oops, you get the point. Then what does that imply about my meme coin? If Doge goes to $1, which by the way, I've got a whole Doge thesis that suggests it's going to go higher than $1, and Pepe Doge goes up 750% or wherever this goes, then my meme coin is dramatically outperforming the king of meme coins. And by the way, a lot of people are sleeping on this as well. This is Doge. I think Doge has a real shot at breaking $1 within the next 208 days. Let's take a look at this. I wasn't planning on talking about this on YouTube, but here we are. Okay. 1,216 days from this cycle high. Here, I'll go to the daily so you know it's accurate. Okay. 1,217 days from the first high for Doge all the way until the next cycle top. Okay. 1,217 days. Let's go take a look at the next cycle. Oh my gosh. From high to the next high, 1,217 days. What are the odds? Must be a coincidence, right? Okay, let's extrapolate things out a little bit. From this high to where I think the next one will be, 1,217 days. Why does it keep doing that, guys? What are the odds that two cycle tops are exactly 1,217 days from the next one, twice in a row? And then look at how it lines up with Bitcoin on the bottom here. As Bitcoin goes on to press all-time highs, Doge goes crazy. Bitcoin goes on to press all-time highs, Doge goes crazy. Is Bitcoin going to go on to press all-time highs soon? Doge is going to go crazy. It's the same thing every time. Guys, what are we talking about here? So if we're talking about Pepe and we're talking about Doge, and the Pepe Doge chart looks like this, and clearly looks ready for higher, in my opinion. Clearly looks ready for higher. And Doge is going to go within the next 200 days, make a new cycle top. What does that imply for Pepe? How about we get our handy dandy fib tool out? Let's get our handy dandy fib tool out. Right here, 1.618. Let's do some extrapolation here. If the Pepe Doge chart hits the 1.618 on a breakout here, that would basically be over a 10x against Doge. So if Doge goes to $1, which is like a 12 or 13x from here, and Pepe Doge goes up 10x, you're potentially talking about Pepe, pushing valuations that Doge did at the peak of last cycle, 70 to 100 billion, potentially. What is there to say? Guys, if these likes aren't over 100, I'm going to be salty. All right, 101. Thank you, guys.
Oh, let's go.
Hell yeah. Max was cooking today.
Man, that's all I got for you guys on Pepe and Doge, guys. I don't know how much more clear I can be. I don't know how much more clearly I can be, guys. Trying my best, And this is a great point here. Thank you, Michael. We were very early on it. Guys, I think this is probably where we wrap it up here. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Please consider liking the stream if you guys haven't yet. And also, if you are new here, please consider subscribing. We just blew through 3,500 subscribers like a hot knife through butter. So please help us reach 4K and subscribe if you haven't yet. Again, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time. We basically just come on here for an hour and a half and just talk charts, price, narratives, and share as much alpha as we possibly can. So please like and subscribe. Furthermore, if you haven't yet, check out the first link in the description below. It will take you to becausebitcoin.com/premium, or you can read reviews and browse our premium services. Quick reminder, we are dropping the BB terminal very soon. When the BB terminal drops, it's basically a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys, you're going to want to use it. It's going to be bundled together with our Discord. The price of our Discord is going to go up exponentially. Now, the reason for that, to be transparent, is basically to deter most people from signing up. Okay, it's too important of an asset to us as a team and an existing community to, as we scale this business and as the bull market goes on and rages, basically let it become a fast food restaurant where, there's just, you can't control the quality. It has to it's paramount that it remains the highest quality no matter what. And if we get 1,000 members in there, it's not going to happen. The price of the Discord is going to go up tremendously. Okay, so if you are interested in the Discord, if you want to see active positions for our entire team, if you want 2 hours a day of private voice calls where we get to chat and talk markets at the New York session open and the close, and premium analysis that we don't talk about here on YouTube, consider checking that out and signing up sooner rather than later. Again, you will be bundled in when the terminal drops, so you will get the BB terminal, plus the Discord, plus the new Telegram alerts channel for the terminal, all bundled together for the current price if you sign up now. But if you wait, it's going to be difficult to get into the Discord, guys. I just want to give you a warning because I know how this is going to go. People are going to hit me up and say, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. Could I have like a discount code or a free trial? It's so expensive. I'm going to go, dude, I told you for 4 months straight that this was happening. I'm so sorry. I feel bad, but like I told you about this. So guys, at least check it out sooner rather than later so we can avoid that discussion because I do know it's coming. The terminal is going to be awesome. The Discord is fantastic. First link in the description below. It supports us. It supports your trading journey. It will help you take your game to the next level. But with that said, let's kick it over to Tommy to say a final farewell.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, you said we've been talking about it for 4 months now, and I was just thinking, like, man, has time really gone by that quickly? And I guess it has, because I want to say we started talking about it back in December. It's been almost like 3 months. So, but we're creeping up on it. We're creeping up on the halving. We're creeping up on BB Terminal. A bunch of really exciting things coming down the pipeline for you guys in these markets. We're very excited to be able to deliver them. I'm pretty interested to see how Bitcoin's going to close this daily candle, guys. Whether or not this is just kind of, this could be just Tuesday shenanigans, right? I mean, mean reversion Tuesday, you see it a lot over the last year. And if that's the case, then you probably see altcoins catch a big bid over the next like 2 or 3 days. And I think if that's the case, you probably see it hold out roughly around weekly open, which is basically where we're trading now. So I think very interesting local level here for Bitcoin to monitor as the day comes to an end. A reminder for our programming, we will be live every day in Market Check, Monday through Friday. Typical start time around 11 a.m. Eastern time. We talk charts, trading stuff mostly. And we have a lot of fun on this show, guys. I mean, I'm sure you all have noticed that we like to have a lot of fun with each other, just talk markets and hang out. But also make sure to tune in for Market Talk with King Wabi as the host. That is a Twitter Spaces show, typically around 4:15, 4:30 Eastern time, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Also talk about markets, a little less about trading, but everything that you can possibly imagine market related will probably be covered on that show. And they have some really great speakers up on there every single day. So make sure to tune in for that. But that's all from us, guys. Happy Tuesday, February the 13th. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So make sure to buy your significant other something special if you've had some nice gains here over the last few months. But that's it from me. That's it from Because Bitcoin. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again.